I know some people say they've lived life with no regrets, but I can't say that. And my biggest regret is that I spent so much time building my business, making money so that I could give my children the things I didn't have growing up, so that I could give them the experiences in life that I didn't experience, like leaving the country, going on family vacations, living in a big house where everybody had their own bathroom, making sure everybody had their own vehicle when they turned 16. And because sometimes I chose to stay up from sun up to sundown, working, chasing the bag to make sure that they had these things, I felt justified in being able to say to my children, I sacrificed so much for you. When in reality, when the truth really is that I wasn't making sacrifices for my children, I was sacrificing my children. I assumed that's what they wanted. I made the decision that they wanted the material things, the big houses, the fancy vacations, leaving the country, the cars. I chose that for them. And I chose to do the necessary work in order to be able to keep up with supplying them those things. If I could do it all again, if I knew then what I know now as a parent, with most of my children adults now, and I even have a grandson, time. That is the number one thing I would have sacrificed every and anything for, to be able to give them time, stories, my stories, to hear their stories. But no, I chose to give them everything I wanted them to have, but not necessarily what they asked for. That was my choice. And some parents, not all, the only way you're going to come into my comment section huffing and puffing and saying, but kids these days, is if I hit a nerve. Because when the truth hits you, you hit the comment button. I've learned that about watching how some of y'all be moving on social media. Yeah, when that truth hits y'all hit the comment button, try to go in. Can't handle the truth. That truth be hurting, that truth be stinging, especially when it comes to our parenting methods. But seriously, some parents, even if they don't act it out or even verbally say it, will use the fact that they work so hard to be able to provide this, that, and the other, things that are above and beyond the normal clothing. It didn't have to be name brand. Schooling. It could have been a public school. It didn't have to be the private school. It didn't have to be college. Vacations. It could have been a backyard blow up pool like we used to get when we were little. Okay. It didn't have to be the Bahamas. We chose that based on what we lacked, what we desired as children. We assumed and structured our life to give that life to our children, if that's making sense, and then be having the nerve to use it as a controlling factor. Like I said, even if we don't verbally or act it out, some parents, especially those with the narcissistic characteristics, they will verbally, act out that controlling spirit. I'm just going to call it what it is, that controlling spirit of, I did all of this for you and I sacrificed and this, that, and because they did all of this for you, and they're going to run it back down because, baby, a narcissist will keep count of everything they did for you. And then the minute they can't control you, your decisions, what you do in life, they throw that back at you. So, like I said, not all parents, but typically the parents with those narcissistic traits and narcissistic characteristics like to use what they've done for their children as a controlling mechanism, as a controlling force. As parents, we do have to define and make sure we're not walking that tight line of being protective and being controlling, because at the end of the day, we do want what is best for our children, but there is a fine line between being controlling and being protecting. But at the end of the day, we built these little monsters, and it took time. It took years to build some of these little ungrateful monsters. Woo, I almost said something else. So it's going to take us just as much time to undo what we did. Is that making sense? Because as y'all can see, I'm on my way out to take my evening walk. This just dropped in my spirit because I was listening to a podcast or something, and someone was talking about they went through life with 0 regrets. And I'm like, they must not be a parent. But anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to go on and get my walk in because my Fitbit about to give me my warning that I ain't got enough steps in for today. So just drop comments, even if you want to come for me. That's good. You know, I'm good with that. Or if you can better clarify what I'm trying to say here. Okay. All right. Thanks for listening.